everyone, this is Emily Aline Sudeth, and I am coming to you today for a writing advice video. The topic of this video today is finding inspiration for your writing. I find that one of the most common questions that people ask me when I tell them that I'm a writer and I show them some of my work is, where did you get inspiration for your stories? And today I just want to talk to you about some of the places that I personally find inspiration or places that I know other writers find inspiration. I also just want to take a moment and apologize for the setting of this video. As you can see, this is kind of a bleak corner of my apartment, but I do live in a studio and we are moving some things around so that I am going to better be able to film. So hopefully next video I will be in somewhere that is more visually stimulating for all of you. Okay, so the first place of inspiration that I want to talk to you about today may be a little bit controversial, but that is already existing writing, already published novels, already published short stories. Now, I am not telling you to go out and copy existing stories to create your own. Nobody likes someone who wants to piggyback off of another person's success. But you can take certain elements from existing stories and use them to create your own. A wonderful example of this is the Lunar Chronicles series by Marissa Mayer. She takes inspiration from fairy tales such as Rapunzel or Little Red Riding Hood, and she creates unique characters and unique stories for her own universe that take some inspiration from these already existing stories. Now, you can do something similar in your own writing. Maybe a theme in a novel that you appreciate is something that you would like to use in your own story. Themes like good versus evil or the hero's return. Those are wonderful themes that exist in already published works, and you can take inspiration from those and use them in your own writing. Or maybe you like the way that a writer describes a particular place in their story. Maybe you can take the structure of those buildings and build upon them, and you can create a city for your own story. Now, I just want to stress that taking inspiration and copying are two entirely different things. I am not telling you to copy. I am telling you, maybe when you are reading a book and you like how a particular writer forms a character, or you like a particular idea, or maybe you even like how they executed the twist of their novel, but you don't copy the twist, you just copy the execution. Copy the execution. Don't copy the execution, just take inspiration. But maybe those elements can inspire you in your own writing. To go along with my first piece of advice, another place that you can find a lot of ideas and inspiration for your stories are other existing forms of media like movies or video games. For my current manuscript, I actually took some inspiration from the Dragon Age franchise, especially with their magic system, and I took some of the elements of that existing magic system and I kind of fiddled with them, and I added some stuff and I took some away, and I used it to create a magic system for my own world. And you can do this too. Maybe your favorite movie has a wonderful sidekick and you want to create a character that is very reminiscent of this character. Maybe take some of the traits of that character's personality and create a new character for them. Again, we don't want to copy already existing ideas, but you can take some of the elements from these other forms of media to create your own stories. Now, I find a lot of inspiration for my own writing from the world around me and my everyday life. You can do this for your own writing. Maybe you can create a plot based around some I don't want to say tragedy, but maybe an unfortunate event that happened in your childhood. Maybe you got really embarrassed and you want to form a story where the protagonist goes through a similar situation. You can take inspiration from that real life experience and turn it into writing. Now, I find that writing that does take inspiration from real life tends to be stronger just because there is a basis in reality, and you can use this even if your story is a fantastical story with magic or with cyborgs, because you can take elements in your everyday life or your memories and you can put them into your work. You can do this. Maybe you can put a character in your story that reminds you of your friend, or maybe one of the settings is the town that you grew up in. But just taking inspiration from your everyday life and your surroundings is a really great place to find inspiration for your writing. So a place that I find some inspiration that I know some other writers struggle with, but that I have personally had some success with, is finding inspiration from music. I know a lot of writers don't like to write with wordy music playing while they write, but I do find that you can take some of the elements from a song and create a pretty successful story. You don't necessarily have to listen to the song while you are writing, but it can be a great place to create a story. You can take a dark and broody song and maybe it makes you think of a vampire's castle, and maybe that vampire becomes the antagonist in your story and you can build from there. Or maybe there is a very happy, upbeat, and hopeful song and it reminds you of the hero triumphing over good and evil, and there you have the climax of your story and you can use that to build the rest of your story. Again, you do not have to listen to the specific songs that give you inspiration for your stories while you write, but I know in some instances it can be very helpful. I have a specific song playing in my head right now that I listened to when I wrote one of the fight scenes for my current manuscript. It really inspired the fight scene and I just found it really helpful to write along with it. But you don't have to do this. I just wanted you to know that finding inspiration from music is one of the sources that I find isn't tapped into as often because writers get distracted listening to wordy music. But you don't have to listen to it while you write, but maybe that song can inspire you to create a specific character or inspire a specific theme or a specific scene, and I just wanted you to know about music as inspiration for writing. Now, this last source of inspiration that I want to talk to you about is one that I actually struggle using, and that is plot creation websites. Now, you can type into your little Google bar story ideas, novel ideas, maybe you can type in story idea generator. And I find that the tidbits that these websites offer you are especially great for short stories, but that they might not work for full-length novels. I don't really use this source because I find a lot of inspiration from the world around me or from other forms of media, but I do know a lot of writers who have had success with using these websites to create wonderful stories. So essentially what you do with the generator type websites, because those are the ones that I specifically used and I have more experience with, is you go in, you hit the generator, it gives you an idea, maybe old man walking in the street and a piano falls on him. Maybe that's the idea that it gives you. And you take that idea and you figure out, okay, who is this old man? Why did the piano fall? Why was he walking on the street? Did it hit him? What repercussions did it have? And you can go from that and you can build your own unique story. Now, again, I do not personally find this as helpful. I find like it kind of creates a box for me when I have to write from already existing ideas, but I know a lot of people do find this method helpful and can create wonderful stories from these ideas that these generators give them. So that is another source that you can look at when you are trying to find inspiration for your writing. Alright guys, so that wraps it up for this video. I hope that you can take the ideas that I've given you to find some inspiration for your own writing. I will be posting a new writing advice vlog next Sunday, and I am looking to set up a personal video every Wednesday, so cross your fingers for that. Those would be tags or other non-writing advice related videos. All the links to my social media are in the description bar below. Feel free to give them a follow, and if you could give this video a thumbs up and a subscription, I would really appreciate it. If you have any ideas for a future video or you have something that you'd like to request, please feel free to tweet me at Emily A. Sudeth or leave them in the comment section below. Anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I will see you soon.